Okie dokie.
Okay, before I say anything else, all I'm going to say is Super Mario 64.z64 is not the scariest ROM hack of Mario 64 I've ever played. I mean, I've played the beta build and that managed to be scarier, so that's kind of saying something if you ask me. But I'm just going to say people definitely over-exaggerate when they say this is the scariest game, because nothing much actually happened, so I'm just going to discuss how my playthrough went, just so you all can see how I have this kind of point of view on it. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, the game isn't horrible, it has potential, it's kind of bland. So the game started off with opening me to this lovely title screen, no file select menu, and now we're in the game. First thing I noticed is that there are no trees at all, however everything else seemed about the same. First thing I tried doing though was trying to get on top of the castle by using the slope over here. Spoiler alert, I got sidetracked and didn't.
I ate all the trees. Nobody, you caused fucking deforestation. What the hell's wrong with you?
So now once I got into the castle, I noticed right away that there was no castle music and the entire lobby was made differently. And there was only a single door in the middle. Where did this door lead to? You guessed it, Bob-omb Battlefield. Upon loading in, there was just a random text box that just said objective get the star. Wasn't exactly sure what it meant by that, but I continued my way throughout the level. And when I made my way through the level, I only noticed that there were a bunch of arrow signs pointing me away from the mountain. Not sure why, but there just was, and that was the only difference of the whole level, other sides the lack of enemies. And then just out of curiosity, I went to see if the teleporter worked, and I guess it didn't work, so I guess you have to go up the mountain manually. And when I reached the top of the mountain, there was just a single star waiting to be collected, so I collected it, and then my screen just stayed black. Assuming that the game crashed, I just simply rebooted the game. And when I loaded back in, I instantly noticed that the water on the waterfall is now gone. I think that was the only difference, but if you can point out anything else, let me know down in the comments, but this was the only major difference I actually noticed. And now that I'm looking back at the footage, I noticed that the castle windows are gone as well. However, the castle glass picture there is still there. When I went into the castle, everything was about the same, except whenever I went into that door again, the room to Bob-omb Battlefield was a bit longer, and now it's missing one of the Bob-ombs on the painting. When I loaded back in, that same text box appeared, and there was no other differences as other sides the render distance. And another thing is that the music was slightly pitched lower and a lot slower.
Oh.
And I'm not sure why this flower patch with signs pointing down at it exists, so I kinda just ignored it and moved on with my day. So then once again, I went to the top of the mountain and collected the one and only star that exists in this whole world. And again, the screen stayed black. So then I rebooted the game once again, and now the entire castle is just bland. Now the peach painting on the castle is gone. That was like the only difference though, so let's just move on. Now into the castle in that room with Bob-omb Battlefield, the room is a lot longer and we're missing another bomb on the painting. This time when loading in, the text box just says objective. Almost like it expects me to know what I want to do. And now the entire render distance is so much lower and the fog is now just black, so it looks like it's purely nighttime now. So then now when I was getting a little bit closer to the top, there were now more arrows pointing away from the mountain. So then I went over and grabbed the star, reset the game, and now majority of the colors are gone, from the slopes and even the sky. And now the outline where the painting on Peach's castle would have been is gone too. And whenever I walked over to the moat, the water was even gone.
Who drank all the water? Someone in chat better own up, because who drank it all?
So then now I went back into the castle, and now the room to Bob-omb Battlefield was a lot longer, and now there are no more bombs on the painting. So when I loaded in, the objective box now just says leave. and the render distance is so much shorter.
But can't pause the game.
When I got past the chain chomp, the weird music you get when you start the Koopa race began.
I cannot believe you.
And this was followed by a 30-second countdown at the top of the screen. Not sure what it was for, but I didn't think much of it. Right around when the timer hit 15 seconds, the outline of everything started to go red. And the lighting too. Plus I could barely see anything. So when the timer ended, all the lighting went back to normal, if you even call this normal. And then I went to the top of the mountain and there was nothing there. Until this happened.
Whoa!
I genuinely have no idea what this is, but he kinda looked like Metal Mario or just flat out static. So then I resetted the game one last time and now there is no title on the menu. And now I load back into the castle, everything is back to normal. Except Mario isn't there. And then a text box appears on the screen. Everything is better off without you. And then the game just sat like this. No Mario, no nothing. Oh, and by the way, the water and the waterfall's still gone, by the way. And that was it. That was the whole game. It was really just a cycle of get a star, reset the game, get a star, reset the game, and try to spot the difference. And honestly, the game wasn't nearly as scary as I thought it would be. I'm not gonna lie, that part with the weird Metal Mario looking thing was kind of spooky, but thanks to the screen shaking and the sounds, I kinda saw it coming. I kinda would have rathered if it came unexpectedly. That would have definitely made me a little bit more scared, but it wasn't that scary to be honest. And it was really just a game of spot the difference every time you reopen the game, let's be real. Oh, and don't worry, I'm working on my sister location triggered video. It will come out soon, don't worry about that. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you liked and subscribed if you want more content like this. By the way, I did this all live.